the biggest exclusive Halo has, or Microsoft has, is not going to be released with the new console. That's like the biggest gut punch, like, ever. Like, it's just like, I don't know. It's like going into that's like going into like in anything, in like sports, going into a game without your best player. You know, like it's
Yeah.
like, what are you gonna do? That's such a big disadvantage.
Hey guys, it's me Keyshawn, and I'm here with Raj, and welcome back to the MindSet Podcast. Today is Multiplayer Monday, and we're going to be talking about how Halo Infinite, a game that Raj has been looking forward to quite a bit, and a lot of Halo fans,
Yep.
how it got delayed, and why it might have possibly gotten delayed, what we think, and what it means to Microsoft. But yeah, be sure to follow us on all of our social. We post on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. We also upload our podcast on Google Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor, and Apple Podcasts. If you leave a review on Apple Podcasts, we will shout you out, and it helps us get better at this. Also, recently we found out that about 60 to 70% of you guys that are watching on YouTube are not subscribed. So if you do want to leave a subscribe, it's free if you want to. If you don't want to subscribe, completely fine. We understand that. Thank you for checking out the content anyway. But yeah, we appreciate everyone of you that are watching. So let's get into this, Raj. How are you?
I'm good, just I've been better because this Halo Infinite news really, like, I was like, come on. I kind of had a feeling something was gonna go bad though. But yeah, how you been? How's are you excited for school? School starts soon, right?
Yeah, I'm leaving in 2 days technically.
Oh, big moves.
Actually 3 days. Yeah, Wednesday is when I'm leaving.
Oh, okay. And then coming back.
But when am I coming back?
Yeah.
To be determined, because we don't know how long we're going to be staying there.
Oh my god, what?
Yeah, I mean, we're making like a couple of pit stops along the way.
Oh, true.
Yeah, because we want to like visit some family while heading there, and then like maybe stop to some other family on the way back.
Yep, some
yeah.
pandemic road trips,
Yep, that's exactly what it is.
Dude, Erzo always hooks us up too with the like and subscribe. Thank you, Erzo. But yeah, let's talk about Halo. So I saw this, it was Courage JD, he replied to Halo, and when Halo were like, oh, we're delaying this game until 2021, which to me,
there's a long way,
it's like first of all, this game has been in development for like 4, maybe 5 years now, since the last Halo release. And like I mentioned, I didn't think that the reveal was great. Like, I think it was a missed opportunity. And on top of all that, the graphics were terrible, in my opinion. The trailer was a little bit better, but the graphics were bad. So like, all this in combination, I almost saw this coming, right? Like, I knew something bad was gonna happen. I'm like, dude, they're gonna delay it. Something's gonna happen. Or I thought they were just gonna come out with better gameplay, because they said it was like an alpha build, right? They said the reason why it's so bad is because it's an alpha build, and that's what they were showing. But if you're developing a game for 4 or 5 years and the best you got during a reveal is an alpha build, there already is an issue there, right?
Mm-hmm.
The other issue, obviously, which is huge, is like the whole COVID pandemic. I'm sure they're still working from home. I don't know how well you can work on a game from home, so even if they were like, maybe they were trying to work on everything really like OD for like the last couple months, but they haven't been able to because of COVID. I know the first couple months, like, I'm sure they didn't work on it at all, right? Like from March, April.
Yeah, they were probably thinking like, oh, it's the pandemic, we can't do anything, we're gonna take a couple of days off and then we'll get back on it, maybe get delayed like a bit later.
Yeah, and then it turned out to be like a couple months, until even now it's still like nuts, right? So I'm sure they're working from home now, but I don't know how well you could create a game from home. So like, I feel like with the combination of those things, it was almost inevitable that this game was going to get delayed, because it did not look like a complete game whatsoever, and they just don't have time.
Especially in comparison to Halo 5 with its trailer that they had.
Yeah.
And that trailer and just gameplay was by far a lot better than whatever they showed for Halo Infinite.
Yeah. And then also like so they announced that the Xbox is going to come out November 2020, right? So if you look at that now, we're like halfway into August. So that's like 2 months, give or take away, like 2 and a bit. So from what they showed to the game being fully readied in two and a half months, they probably looked at it like, no way, right? And the interesting thing is Microsoft agreed to this. You know why? Because I always think of it in this way, right? So the general like conception around like gaming is that PS4 has the better exclusives, which is always true, right? The only thing that's been keeping Xbox alive is good Halo games, which is why like the last generation of Xbox wasn't really used much, because the Halo games were bad, right?
Yeah.
So like there was no really.
I feel like there's so much more in terms of like you can get the same games that you play on the PS4 on the Xbox, right? So like they're both basically the same. The exclusives don't really show much, so there's no point in getting the Xbox, right? That's what you were saying.
Yeah.
But I think there's also the false start that Xbox had with the direction that they took their Xbox One in.
For sure. Yeah.
So it's just like, along with that, they really sort of like they almost like injured themselves.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
They were trying to run a race.
Yeah, they were trying to like make it a whole like entertainment system, which is like not the way. It's a gaming system, right? Like entertainment comes second. People have like Chromecast and Apple TVs that are specifically made for entertainment, so I'm sure they don't want like, I mean, like, I can't speak for everyone, but I don't want my gaming, I don't care about my PS4 to watch Netflix on and stuff. I got like 30 other things that do that.
Agreed.
Yeah, but so I'm surprised that Microsoft agreed to this, because it's just like they're already starting at a disadvantage because they know that PS5 will have better exclusives. The big talking point was Halo, right? Especially Halo Infinite. It was going to be huge. And for them to say we're going to release the console without it, it must have really been in a bad spot. Like the game must have been in a terrible spot. Because like even if the game was like somewhat ready and they were like, oh, you know what, we would get it done, I could have seen them doing something like releasing just the campaign first and then like continuing to develop like multiplayer on the side or something, right? And then releasing that whenever it's ready. At least then
you know what they could have done?
What?
If they want to take a page from Call of Duty, which this sort of just popped into my head because the first thing that came to my mind was how Call of Duty sort of had a failed game, but they managed to recover with it.
Yeah.
Call of Duty made Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, and that was like god awful. People did not want it whatsoever, especially after seeing that one of the campaign missions was like them flying in space and stuff. People were thinking like, this is just, you know, terrible. And the way they combated that was like, you know what, we're gonna make Modern Warfare remastered, so you guys can play COD 4, the OG classic, on the PS4 now. Yeah. So I don't know if Halo could do something like that, because I think that would be one way to bring back. I'm gonna say Halo 3. That's the only one that
I mean, they have Master Chief Collection. That's what that is.
Yeah. So I don't know. So they've already run that option through, I guess, right? They can't
I mean,
do that.
for them, I just felt like it would have been beneficial to have that game at release, because I feel like Halo has such a big like persuasion factor in terms of like what people are gonna buy. Now people are gonna look at like, dude, I'm gonna buy an Xbox and not be able to play the game that I want to play for God knows how long, because they said 2021, right? Obviously, I don't think it's gonna be fall of 2021. I think it's gonna be springtime, like somewhere around like March probably. But let's just say worst case scenario, they delay it till fall 2021. Imagine buying a console in November and not being able to play the game you want to until the year after. Like that's unreal. Like I don't know how they would do that, or like how they would survive that. So that's why I feel like they should have at least, like at its minimum, just released like just campaign or just like one game mode, you know, at least so you could say at launch we still have the game. Because I don't know, it's just hard for me to think that they're not gonna, the biggest exclusive Halo has or Microsoft has is not gonna be released with the new console. That's like the biggest gut punch like ever. Like it's just like, I don't know, It's like going into like that's like going into like in anything in like sports, going into a game without your best player. You know, like it's
Yeah.
like, what are you gonna do? That's such a big disadvantage to anything else. And like it could end like the whole console race before it even starts. Like at this point currently, knowing Halo's not going to come out with the console, what is the reason to get an Xbox over a PlayStation for the next generation?
Yeah, because then you might as well wait, right?
Yeah.
But at that point, if people are enjoying the PlayStation a lot more than Xbox, then you sort of lost it then.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone's going to be like, I have a PS4, I mean PS5, I love it, and I'm having a fun time playing it. Let me buy an Xbox. What is it?
Series X.
Series X, yeah, Xbox Series X, and play Halo, just Halo.
Yeah.
So,
because like you also got to think about it like this, right? So, Call of Duty 2020 is gonna come out, which we'll talk about a little later, right? But Call of Duty 2020 is gonna come out. So, are you gonna play the new Call of Duty 2020 on a PS4 or the old Xbox? Probably not, right? Like the game is built for next gen. You're gonna want to play it on next gen. So you have two options right now. You could get an Xbox or PlayStation, but Xbox is you want to play Halo, right? Which is not gonna be there. So it's just like even for next gen gaming, PS5 is still probably the better option because Halo's not a thing right now. So it's just like if you want to like, I don't know, you're almost like forced to buy a console next gen if like, you know, like if all your homies are getting it and stuff. And like it's just hard for me to think that you would choose Xbox over PlayStation for any reason as of right now, with Halo not being there. How bad do you think the game was though for them to like get Microsoft to agree to be like, yeah, let's push it till next year?
We've done a podcast on this, right? We've done it and we've seen it. We've seen everything that was, I mean, wrong with it. Great, they had like next level mechanics that sort of looked really cool. But what was it with like those terrible graphics and that terrible trailer? Because like the trailer itself, it doesn't have to be anywhere near the graphics of like the game that you're playing, right? Look at League of Legends, for example. League of Legends 2020, that animated video that they had, that was bomb. That was amazing. And it like, as a person that doesn't play League, I was like, yo, if this is what the game is, I'm gonna buy it. But that's not what the game is like at all, whatsoever. So I don't know. I'm surprised they didn't have their trailer look like monumental. Compared to like Halo 5.
Now it almost makes sense though, right? So like everyone was like, oh, why are you hiding stuff? Like why isn't your reveal like a big reveal? You know? It's just like, it's weird because like now it makes sense why they didn't show everything, because I don't think they had it, you know? Like we were talking about them showing a little more in-depth stuff about the campaign, maybe throw in a little like multiplayer clips here and there, maybe like tease a battle royale if that's what they're going after, right? And that would have been like huge if they did all those things. That could have like literally taken over the internet. People would probably still be talking about it now in terms of like battle royales and stuff like that. But they didn't show any of it, and we were just like, why are they being so tight-lipped? Now we know, because the game is not complete to the point where they're not even comfortable releasing it this year anymore. They're not going to delay it by a month. They're saying 2021.
Yeah, because when was the original release date?
November 2020 with the new consoles.
November 2020, which is basically, in my books, that's basically 2021.
Yeah, close enough. Yeah.
So for them to say like next year, 2021, they don't just mean like, oh, I'm going to release it in February or March. I'm pretty sure they mean we're going to be probably back in December and we're going to sell the game then.
You don't think they're going to release the game until fall of 2021?
No, I think they could go even further than that, just because of how bad it was for the trailer and the gameplay and all that stuff. Just wasn't the most solid thing.
True. But now let's look at the other side, right? So we talked about well, I think it's a bad thing, and like we talked about the negatives about why, especially for Microsoft and Xbox as a whole, why this is not the move. But now let's just think about a couple of the positives, right? So this game is gonna be super polished, you know what I mean? Because there's just no way that like you take this much extra time and the game isn't going to be more polished, right? It's the reason why they're doing it is because they're not comfortable with the state that the game is in right now.
Yeah.
So at least we know that Microsoft is giving them the ability to be like, hey, you guys need more time? Fine, we're not going to rush you guys. We're going to give you guys time to work on the game how you guys want it to work.
Yeah.
Right? So like that's a positive. Another positive that I see is now they could have a public beta. Right? For multiplayer.
Oh yeah, true.
Because they were not going to have a public beta. They were just kind of going to run it when it came into November. There was never like talks about a public beta. Maybe a private beta, but not a public one. But now let's say it's like somewhere deeper in 2020. Even if it's like March 2021, they could still have a public beta around like December, January, right? Where like people just hop on the game and like they could just get a massive amount of people playing it. And that would so if they released a public beta, that could get people to buy the Xbox. You know what I mean? Because like you're not gonna get the public beta on PS5. So people would be like, oh, at least I get to play the public beta. Let me at least get an Xbox so I could play that. So that could almost like tip some people in their favor.
And then with Call of Duty being crossplay and you know a lot of other games coming out with crossplay, it's like, okay, then I can get it. It doesn't matter what games I get.
Yeah, and that would like would like almost hold somebody over, you know, until the game actually comes out, because it is gonna get delayed. And also like with the public beta, I feel like they just get so much information that they need in terms of like bugs, how people play, like different things like that, gun balancing, like so many opinions on the game. And that's like public betas are perfect because like you don't really need to say the game's complete. If it's crap, you could just be like, yeah, it's just not a complete game yet, right? Like you can't judge it. But at the same time, you kind of are letting people judge it just to see what people are saying. So like I don't see it's like a win-win.
Now, I think there's a problem with this though, because there's always the problem where let's say they take this extra year,
or 6 months, whatever, however long,
or whatever it is. They take the extra time and the game isn't still like quite developed to what they want it to be, or what the people want it to be. Then they've wasted their time and resources.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah,
because then there's putting time into it and effort into it when it's not gonna go anywhere. And my best like relation to this would be like the Sonic movie that they had, and when everyone saw what Sonic looked like for the first time, and how terrible it was, and then after a bit they were like, yo, we need to change this, and they did change it, and it ended up looking like 10 times better. Right. And like I just feel like we should bring this up. Tacos is like, I'm guessing, agreeing with us. Imagine how bad if they don't do it correctly. Like you'd expect it to be good, so it's good to the point that people might not even, where it, you know, might not meet people's expectations, right? So like that's what I'm trying to say. They could potentially botch this effort.
Oh yeah,
because it's just not gonna work out.
Yeah, and also I'm sure with like, because they're taking like months more, I'm sure now people are gonna expect an even better game than they would have if it just came out in November, right? So like now people are gonna expect like a fully polished multiplayer, fully polished campaign, whatever game mode it is, like fully, like would not want to see any shortcuts, right? Because they had the extra time to work on it. I mean, they've already had like 4 or 5 years, but now it's just even more time on top of that, right? So it's just like, dude, like now it better be good, or like they better have like a fully polished version, because they don't really have an excuse, you know? Like if they released in November 2020, I guess they could have been like, yo, like we just couldn't work on it, like we didn't have time. But now it's just like, with the extra months, like what can you say? And I'm sure a lot of people will be thinking that way, that like with the extra months it better be better than it would have.
To me, I feel like it's got to be how the game looks, because it just looks way too childish for a game that's in 2020, you know? Or I guess 2021 now. Yeah,
especially like trying to take advantage of like Xbox is trying to show off like their new engine, new console power, this, that, and the other. It's just like, it's weird, because like it's not showing off anything about your console. Taco said, I feel like Halo sometimes is so big because it relates back to people's childhoods and those times. Yeah, like for me particularly, I only like Halo because of Halo 3, Halo Reach, like those games. So like, it's obviously nostalgia, but like at the same time, nostalgia is not gonna make me play a game. I'm not playing Halo 5. I haven't played Halo 5 in like months, right? I still did play it. I still bought it, but I don't know. I didn't like. Nostalgia is not enough to keep you on a game for however long, right? At the end of the day, it's just gonna be how good the game is.
Yeah.
And I think they noticed that because like this game, Halo 5 has like a very small but loyal player base right now.
What do you think was the Halo that sort of
started tailing off?
Yeah.
Probably Halo 4.
Halo 4.
Yeah.
So that was after Reach, right?
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people didn't like Reach either, but Reach still felt like Halo, and I still grinded Reach pretty hard. Like
Yeah,
all
I know
my
that we
friends
played
did
Reach.
too.
Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
And all my friends also grinded Reach pretty hard. So like, I don't think Reach is the worst one. I think with Halo 4, people were like, okay, now what's going on? Because they had like armor abilities and ADS and stuff, so people were like, this is not the wave.
Didn't Reach have this thing called armor lock?
Yeah, which people hated.
Yeah, I remember.
But it still wasn't enough to like kill the game.
There's a meme where people would just spam armor lock.
Oh yeah, it was broken when it first came out. You could just
Yeah.
keep armor locking. It was terrible.
Oh well. I feel like they should probably. This is gonna sound bad, but they should just release it and
So you would
let
rather
it be.
So you would rather release a unfinished version
and I'm
earlier
saying this because
than, a fully functional version in a couple months?
And I'm saying that because it's just that I don't think they can recover. They're gonna
Really?
need to do.
By they you mean Microsoft?
Microsoft, yeah, they're gonna need to do a tremendous job to recover from what their graphics and all that stuff was from before, because graphics take a lot of time.
Yeah.
We saw how PS5 was trying to showcase it, or how
Yeah.
Sony was trying to showcase it with the PS5, and like how every single like spot there's like millions of triangles or whatever, right?
Yeah. I mean, that was funny, but that gameplay looked good. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like the whole triangles thing was not the wave. Like that was not the move because no one knew what the hell he was saying. But the gameplay itself spoke for itself. Like it was incredible gameplay.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. Like with graphics, there's those triangles that come in. They need to texture every single triangle and then make it like connect together so that it looks like a round surface, right?
Yeah.
So like for them to do that, that's going to take a long time if they want to get it up to the expectation that people actually have for it, which I think is a lot higher because Halo 5 is actually freaking amazing, you know?
Yeah, in terms of like looks wise, yeah.
Yeah. So first they need to get to Halo 5's level because that's a previous game. You can't be worse
but at the
than
same
the game
time,
from before.
we don't know what level the game's at, right? Because like they showed. I mean, if let's just
they
said
it was
lying.
an alpha build.
Yeah, let's just say they're not lying, which I think they are, because otherwise they wouldn't want to delay the game. But say it is an alpha build, we have no idea what the full game looks like. Which is why I feel like there needs to be a little bit more transparency. Like I understand they said, I mean, they don't owe anybody transparency, right? Like it's at the end of the day, the only person they need to give transparency to is Microsoft. Like 343, they need to tell Microsoft why they need delay, and I'm sure they went through that, and I'm sure they tried everything to release it on time, right? I'm sure Microsoft thought of that because they know how big of an impact this is going to have. But a little transparency with the community, I think, would go a long way. Just because it's like a big ask for the community that's been waiting 4 or 5 years for this game to wait even more, like 6 more months, right? However long, we don't even know however long. Because they didn't say, whoa, we're gonna wait till March 2021. Like they didn't say that. They just said we're gonna delay it till next year, which is fine because they don't really owe anybody anything. But just for like transparency reasons, I feel like they should have been like, hey, we'll be back in March, don't worry.
Yeah, I
Because that
think
just makes
no,
me
no,
more
no.
concerned for the game.
Let's say okay, let's say they weren't lying, right? And let's say that it was an alpha test or alpha build or whatever, and it wasn't their actual um like, full product,
Yeah.
okay? Then I think them saying that, yo, this is an alpha where we can't get to the point that we wanted to get to, so we're going to take an extra year or however long
Yeah.
to complete it. That's good. But let's say they're lying about it. Now, let's say that that was their complete product and they wanted to showcase it and get everyone hyped, but it obviously didn't work. I don't think there's anything wrong with them saying, you know what? We severely underestimated what the people wanted, and we're going to take the extra year to make it even better. I don't
Yeah.
think there's anything wrong with that. I think companies need to do that, if anything, because consumers will like that sort of loyalty with it,
Yeah.
And I just think that type of loyalty and that type of transparency is so much better. And we talked about that when we were looking at that game that Rogue One,
Yeah. Rogue Company.
Rogue One, yeah, that one. So I just think if they can do that, if they do that, hopefully in sometime nearby, then that would be good. But I honestly think they're not going to.
Yeah, I just feel like I mean transparency. This is why I say transparency is so important, right? Like they need to be like telling, because the community at the end of the day is the people that are gonna pay money to play your game, right?
Yeah.
The consumer at the end of the day rules all, just because they're gonna be the ones that are paying their hard-earned money to play your video game. It's just like they need to explain, like, why is it being delayed, like what. They obviously don't need to go into specifics, just be like, hey, like you guys were right, the graphics are not up to par where we want it to be, this game mode's not done. Or they could be like, imagine they tease something and be like, this is sick. Like imagine they tease the battle royale, they're like, we really want you guys to play this, it's not ready yet though. Imagine that. Like, you think anybody would have complained if they teased the battle royale and were like, we need a little bit more time?
I think some people would, to be honest.
I mean, some people. I mean, there's
a
always
lot
gonna
of
be people.
obviously there's not, yeah,
But like,
but a lot of people would be like, yo, that'd be amazing.
That would have been the move, man. That would have got people hyped at the same time. You know what I mean? Like, it would have been like balancing out the negative almost with the positive. But I don't know. Talking about next gen games that are coming out, there's a pretty big one coming up. It's called, it's pretty much confirmed. It's called Call of Duty Cold War, or Black Ops Cold War,
Okay.
whichever one.
Yeah.
Right? It's the 2020 COD. It's August 16th, and there's yet to be a reveal trailer for the game, which is nuts. Like, when's the last time we were in August and there was no Call of Duty reveal for the next one? At this point, we're already like playing. I swear there was like a Black Ops beta that was in August, if I'm not mistaken.
There was, I'm pretty sure.
Right? Like,
and we played it a lot.
Yeah, like
it was Black Ops 3.
Oh, 3.
No, Black Ops 3.
Yeah, the 3 beta. We played that game like it was a new game. Like a new.
We grinded to the point of max level each time that they came out.
Yeah.
And they raised the levels, and we got back on it, grinded again.
Yeah.
And like kept on playing,
And I did the same thing for Black Ops 4. We did the same thing where we grinded to the max level. They said the new levels come out. We hopped on as soon as we got that Twitter post, and we
were waiting for it.
Yeah.
Really.
So, I mean, obviously it has to do with the popularity of Warzone, and Modern Warfare is still like the best-selling game last month of July. It was like the best-selling game of July, which is nuts. Obviously, it's because of Warzone. It's not because of anything else.
Yeah.
And then also, I think he's going for a 10-hour stream or something. It's pretty cool.
No way.
Yeah, that's what he said he was going to do. But yeah, so the reason why I wanted to talk about COD 2020 is because at this point I was hoping we had like a trailer to break down or something, you know? But we don't have that yet. The worst part is they sent everyone these crates. I don't know if you saw these crates. Did you see it?
Yeah, you posted something on Twitter about it.
Yeah, so they posted it. They sent everybody like creators crates, and then people opened it up. They had like a super old camera inside. Then there was like clues that brought them to the map summit, and there was an update on the map summit in Black Ops 4 where people went in and they saw like different numbers and locations, and they figured out that this was the time period. So like pretty much they're trying to hint that it's Cold War, right, era. The only issue I have with it is they are doing the most just to show us a freaking reveal trailer. Noah J spent 5+ hours figuring out this Easter egg to not get a trailer at the end, to get them to say on Friday we're gonna show you more information. Friday came along, they had a couple more hints, but it's just like, why are they
drawing it out for so long?
Why are they dragging out a stupid reveal trailer? The reveal trailer is not even gonna do anything, right? They're just gonna show a couple really fast clips and say Black Ops Cold War or Call of Duty Cold War or whatever it's called, which we've known for a long time because it leaked, right? Like it leaked off of like someone's I don't know, it was like on Amazon listing or something. It's like, why are they dragging out a reveal trailer so much?
Do you think it's because, and I'm gonna bring point to Fortnite, usually their events and all that stuff, it's done on a weekly thing where they keep on going from season to season. From season to season, it's a weekly thing where you uncover more about like what's happening, right?
Yeah,
that's just how it is. So do you think that they were trying to take that approach?
I guess they could be, but it's just like for a real trailer, they're trying to do too much in my opinion. Unless they're planning to like full on like release like the game with like game modes, information, all that stuff soon, which I doubt they will do because that's not how Call of Duty does things. I just think it's too much. I just think it's like way too much for them to be like doing all this nonsense just for one reveal trailer. How do you feel about the reveal? You think they're gonna show everything?
I feel like they're gonna show enough to the point where it gets people hyped, you know?
Yeah.
It's not gonna do anything more besides that. There's very little, I think, in terms of expectation, I feel. Maybe that's just me, but seeing how the pandemic is around everywhere, right, and it sort of changed everyone's like way of life, I feel like people have almost forgotten about how much like there is to gaming and all that stuff. Like we have these games like Warzone, we have games like I'm gonna say, I can only think of Warzone, Fortnite, because those are the two big games right now, right? But no one's really paying attention to what's coming out next.
Community though, there's like, that's all people are talking about because competitive sucks. Like competitive COD, like the finals are gonna be starting this week, champs, but like competitively this game sucks. Multiplayer, this game sucks. Warzone's the only thing that's like keeping it afloat, right? So people like, anti-cheat is not a thing. There's so many cheaters. They just don't know what to buff and what to nerf. Like it doesn't make any sense. So like they're like kind of struggling in that department too, which sucks. But it's just like everyone at this point is so ready for the next Call of Duty reveal. It's just like, why are they dragging it out way more than they need to? Just look at the this is like usually like a good way to get a general perception of the way people think. Look at like Charlie Intel, who's like the main Call of Duty news person. Look at his tweet replies when he tweets out a new hint that Treyarch came out with, right? People are like, just like, shut up and show me the game already. Like, why are you wasting my time with all this nonsense? I mean, the Easter egg was a cool idea, but what if they just like showed the trailer at the end of the Easter egg? Like that was what you get.
I don't think there's any reason for the trailer to not be complete, right? Unless it isn't complete.
No shot.
But then it's just like, why is the trailer not complete? And if it wasn't complete, why even have these teasing things? Because you could have had it like put together, and that would have been so much more rewarding and so much more helpful.
For sure. I don't know, man. It's just like, I don't know what they're doing. Like all the next gen games, I feel like it's going kind of weird now because it's like that transition from old gen to new gen. I feel like everyone's like, dude, we need more time. Like,
That's just how it is.
yeah, I guess. But yeah, are you excited for the next Call of Duty? I think it's gonna be good. I love Black Ops games.
I'm more excited for right now Apex Legends.
Oh my, you say that every time, but you don't play Apex ever.
I don't, but the moment that crossplay I think is coming out in 3 days.
Yeah.
So the moment that it does, I know for a fact, just like how everyone's playing DVD right now, like I don't know if you've noticed, but DVD has more viewers than like on Twitch at least,
Yeah.
than what it was before. I think they've effectively doubled their viewership.
Yeah.
I think
What
they
is
had
that?
like
Did something new come out in that game?
crossplay.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, so crossplay is finally a thing. So people, at least from my side, I've seen people that are on PS4 are finally playing with people from PC.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really nice to me to see that we're finally like meshing communities. Before, like my best example would be Kush. Kush wasn't able to play with anyone on PC,
Yeah.
and now he's playing with all of them. So it's nice for streamers, in my opinion, and just the community in general, because you get to see both sides now.
Yeah, I agree. It's just like, I agree with that, and I hope things like FIFA also get crossplay. I think it just makes your game that much bigger.
Are you excited? What do you want from Call of Duty?
I am,
because
to be honest, I am so excited for the next Call of Duty. You know why? Because I'm not a big fan of Modern Warfare in terms of like multiplayer. I'm not a big fan.
Yeah.
Warzone's fun. Don't get me wrong. I love Warzone. And that's probably, I mean, I had the game deleted until Warzone came out. I don't know if you remember. I literally deleted the game because I had no space. So like,
yeah.
I deleted the game, played like Destiny, then I started playing Overwatch. I played a bunch of different games. Yeah, I had like phases in every game just because Call of Duty was crap. But then Warzone came out and now we've been grinding it and it's a lot of fun. But I don't know, with Black Ops, I feel like it's always so different from like the Modern Warfare type. I want to see how Black Ops is going to feel on the new engine. Because like this is Modern Warfare was the first game with this new engine.
Yeah.
I want to see what Black Ops feels like. Like, is it still gonna be like that? Like, I still think it's kind of clunky the way the way the guns like shoot. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah. Just ignore that. That never happened. The way like the guns shoot, like the way the recoil is, I still think it's kind of clunky. If that makes sense. I don't know. The way like bounces.
Yeah. I feel like, to be honest, the movement of the game I feel like is pretty solid for Warzone.
Yes, I love slide canceling. Slide canceling is my favorite mechanic in Call of Duty. The reason I say that is because I went back and played Black Ops 4, and I literally couldn't move. I'm like, how do I function like moving around the map?
Do you think that's a mechanic that they did by accident, to be honest?
Well, yeah, I don't think they were trying to do slide canceling as a mechanic. It just happened to be like the best freaking thing to do in the game.
Yeah.
And like,
and
I just think it's
they're just not gonna get rid of it.
I hope they don't. I love slide canceling as a mechanic. I think it's great. The way you move when you slide cancel is just like unparalleled to any other thing. Like, you know how like Black Ops 4 had L2 spamming? Like, I was not a big fan of L2 spamming. They had like they had the side to side movement. Like, if you had stock 1, stock 2, you could like basically teleport left and right. Like, I wasn't a big fan of that whole thing. But slide canceling is something I could get behind. I love it. Epic Flame says I saw him say something before that I kind of caught my eye. He said, I'm just waiting for full dive gaming VR thing similar to SAO, which is pretty funny. I don't know if they're gonna have that anytime soon.
Imagine.
And then he also asked, do you think Black Ops is gonna get crossplay? I said, yeah, I think crossplay is gonna be standard now between Call of Duty games at least. Yeah, I think it's gonna be standard.
Call of Duty at least. Do you think crossplay is gonna happen with Xbox, with Microsoft? I mean PC.
I mean, there isn't it right now.
So, wait, did you say there is or isn't?
Yeah, so like I could play Warzone with someone on PC, right? So like, why wouldn't you be able to do that for the next gen?
Yeah. But I mean, for Halo.
Oh, for Halo.
Yeah,
I think there's gonna be crossplay between. Yeah, I think so. I hope so. I don't know. I doubt,
because if there
but I
isn't,
hope so.
then that would just, I think that would just mean that more people are gonna move to
PC.
PC.
Yeah, I
I
agree.
just think.
Yeah. I don't know. I hope it does. I doubt they will add it. I don't know. I was pretty optimistic before, but I'm not optimistic anymore after seeing all these like whatsoever.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what they do with Warzone. That's probably what I would say the most.
Yeah, without a doubt. In fact, I'd say I am too. But regarding the actual game, regarding like Cold War
Yeah,
and the
I love that
story and
era. I
all
think
that,
that's a good era. I like the past.
I I like as well, but I just don't think they're going to have a proper game, if that makes sense.
Really, you think it's gonna be kind of scuffed?
Yeah, I just feel like with this pandemic, everything is sort of scuffed.
I guess. And also like this game was not supposed to come out this year. It was supposed to come out next year, and there was supposed to be Sledgehammer in between. But I guess like Sledgehammer was just really bad.
Yeah.
So they made like Raven work with Treyarch for this next game, and they moved it up a year. Really good state. So who knows?
Yeah. Maybe when they have a trailer and when they have a gameplay reveal, that's when
Yeah,
I'll
which I was hoping would
more
be by
about it.
now, but they take about 10 years, so
Yeah.
who knows? But yeah, hopefully by next multiplayer Monday, I am praying we have a trailer to break down.
And then we can get into it and see what exactly they're gonna do.
We should do a trailer breakdown. I think that'd be good.
What they're gonna do with it, what type of people they're trying to go for, because it's clearly appeasing to us. I'm gonna say the OGs of Call of Duty.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say during the time when they had boosters and they had advanced mechanics, they definitely appealed to the new generation for people that joined in, because
Yeah.
a lot of people that played Call of Duty during that time, they were younger,
Yeah.
and they were people that sort of didn't have knowledge of what games were like before. Like I could go onto Twitch and ask a lot of people that are still playing Black Ops 4, because there are some people, Black Ops 4 and Infinite Warfare, you could ask them and they'll say that most of them started playing during Black Ops 3.
Yeah. And you know what's so funny? Puneet, who like plays Call of Duty more than pretty much any of us right now, like he grinds Call of Duty. He only likes boosters because the first game he played was Advanced Warfare and it had boosters. So like he's like, I hope next game has boosters. I was like, you're kind of crazy. I hope it doesn't. But okay. I was like,
That's what I mean though.
Or what if they bring
sort
out
of
boosters in Black Ops in this game? I mean, I don't think they will. It's Cold War.
Yeah, I don't think they should, or like there should be no twist whatsoever on that.
I think the next one will. So whatever the next Call of Duty is gonna be, I don't even know what it would be. If I were to guess, it's probably gonna be the sequel for this one, because Infinity War is gonna make it. I think they're gonna add boosters. It's about time. You know what I mean? You don't think it's about time?
No.
No. Add Infinity Ward. Please make your next game boosters. Please.
But yeah. Thank you guys so much for listening and watching.
Yeah.
We honestly do appreciate it. This was Multiplayer Monday. We talked about Halo Infinite getting delayed to 2021, and we also talked about how Call of Duty isn't really showing the trailer yet. But thank you guys so much. Be sure to follow us on all of our socials. We post on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter.